Hello gamers and LEGO enthusiasts. A couple years ago I created the LEGO NES, which was a full-size replica of the Nintendo Entertainment System using 100% LEGO parts. Now the response to that has been overwhelmingly positive. However, I did receive a request over and over again, and that was to put an actual NES board inside of it for the second version of this. And I have done that today. This is the LEGO NES version 2. Now, I will be honest about some things. I did have to make some compromises with the shell, basically because of the way the board fits in there. So doesn't look quite as good as on the outside as the last one, but it still looks pretty nice. So yeah, I'm going to show you a close-up, and then I'm going to show you a quick demo of the unit actually playing games. So here we go. Okay, and here you can see the LEGO NES sitting next to the shell of the NES. Do a side-by-side comparison here. You can see it's pretty much the same dimensions. It is slightly taller. You know, I tried various things, but I had to make it just a couple plates taller because of the way, you know, everything fit in there. There's a look at the sides. Oh, back to the front actually. Talk about a few things real quick. Okay, one thing you'll notice with the front is it kind of looks unfinished right there. Basically I tried a whole bunch of different techniques to fill that in and make it look nice, but unfortunately nothing worked. It just, you know, it either wouldn't fit or it stuck out too much. One thing I would have liked to use is, you know, one of those pieces there. The 1x2x2 panels. Unfortunately, I don't have any in dark bluish gray, so yeah, so I can't use that, but it would work perfectly. So I'm gonna look into getting some of those, and then you know, finish that out. And I did try like sideways building this part and having plates or yeah, plate or tiles. That's what I meant. Tiles going in between the buttons here, but there's not enough space for the actual buttons. So what happens is I would have to push this way back, the actual buttons, and that causes the board to be pushed back, and then I have to add like extra studs on the back, and I did not want to do that, so, you know, that's that. This is the actual, obviously there are the actual controller connectors there, but I did use the outer shelf because that's really the best way to hold these controller ports in place. It does stick out a little, but I'm okay with that. And before I forget, I want to mention that this was done without drilling through any Legos. I did not have to modify the NES board in any way. So, you know, that presented its own challenges. Like these buttons here, I had to like move them like 4 different times because, you know, I'd have it one way and then figure out that, oh, the board doesn't fit in there now, and yeah, it's a pain. This section here, you know, there's supposed to be a little piece of plastic, but what I had in there looked okay, but then I discovered that it was interfering with the cords when I go to plug them in, so I just removed it and, you know, left the little rectangle there, which still looks pretty good. Once again, I do have the little spaces on the bottom, just like the real NES. Back, once again, you know, I could put bricks in between, but it would interfere and it wouldn't look as good, so, you know, I just left it open. These are a little bit different from the last one because with the way the vents are built on the top, which I'll show you in a minute, they actually don't provide any ventilation, so I put some vents back here. I'm not sure how hot the actual NES board gets, but you know, better to be safe than sorry. That side is pretty plain. Yeah, and as you can see, I've pretty much, you know, with the exception of this and that, I've pretty much done it the exact same way as the old LEGO NES. I did remove the metal shielding from the NES board. This goes on the bottom and then this goes on the top. mainly because I wanted it all to fit in there, and that would interfere with that. Let's get this out of here now. Okay, oh, and then this wasn't really a request, but I did see one person ask this when I built the original one, and he asked if the useless plastic rectangle was on the bottom, and get it out. Here we go. Useless plastic rectangle. And it just goes in there like so. Whoops. Of course I can't line it up now. Give me a minute. Alright. So there's that, and then of course there's the door, cartridge slots. Okay, yeah, cartridge goes, you know, in there like so, real easy. Just push it into place, lock it down, you know, hit the power button, and close the door. Now with the top, I really would have liked to put some tiles there, but unfortunately that would require to build me down one plate, and that would interfere with the actual cartridge slot, so you know, I'm just going to leave it like that. And the reason there's no tiles up here is because that prevents the door from opening, so you know, I just left it as is. And then we have the vents here, and I actually forgot how I built these last time, so I had to watch the video that I posted, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I did it. But once again, those are not actual vents, they're just made to look like vents, so there's absolutely no airflow going through there. And, oh, and then one thing is, I have to figure out this because, like, that doesn't want to come down all the way, so I have to mess around with it a little bit and get that all lined up perfectly. Once again, the top does come off. I did not sign it this time, for one reason, because I changed my YouTube channel name, but another reason is because I wanted to use that space to reinforce the top, because, you know, I don't want it like crashing in on me or anything. But yeah, you can see the board itself in here. Just set this down to be easier. And you can see me even. Hey! There's the board. That's the power connector, controller 2, controller 1. See, cartridge mechanism. No lightsaber dual in here this time, just because there wasn't any room. You can see the buttons. And then I have put some bricks in here just to hold everything in place. Alright, and now let's see this thing in action. Okay, so we got it all hooked up to this old TV here. See the cords. Okay, there's me. And this is my son's room, so it might be a little messy. But anyways. Alright, let's go with Final Fantasy. Classic game. And that is Final Fantasy. Anyways, that will do it for this one, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.